Area 11. Room of Secrets. A green copper helm with a protective visor lies on the floor, draped in cobwebs. Against the back wall, atop a marble riser, stands a slender throne also made of green copper and covered with cobwebs. There is nothing remarkable about the copper throne or helm, and neither object detects as magical. But if a character wears the helm while sitting on the throne, a tube-shaped compartment in the ceiling above opens, and a wand of secrets falls out onto the character's head, which the helm conveniently protects. Area 12. The Hall of Heroes. Life-size granite statues of human warriors facing inward stand atop two rows of pedestals that run through the hall. The ceiling of this long hall is 20 feet high, arched, and lightly obscured by thick webs. Three giant spiders lie dead at various points in the hallway, riddled with crossbow bolts. Members of the Undertakers killed them. The hall holds 38 statues, 19 in each row. Their nameplates have been severely chipped or defaced, as have many of the statues' features. Alistair has placed an Elder rune on the double door leading to Area 16. Here. Set to trigger when the doors are opened. Draw from the Elder rune's deck to determine which rune appears. The Elder rune targets a random creature in this hall and within 60 feet of the doors. In the module, we see that Area 13 is an empty room. Down here. But in the companion, it's far more interesting. In the companion, we read the following. This room is under an illusion from one of Hallister's regional effects, painting it as an upside-down den. Read the following. Squealing on its hinges, the door opens upon a reversed room. A fireplace hangs from the ceiling, casting shadows across the den. Upside-down bookshelves teem with ancient tomes. Some float in the cold air, opened on their spines. A high-backed chair is firmly set on the ceiling, its arms nicked and scarred. You may also want to consider planting a bronze mask here, so your players can access Hallister's hidden demiplane, see Area 27. If so, it floats just within arm's reach in the center of the room. If a character takes the mask, the illusion shatters. The den becomes an empty stone room, but the mask is real. Continuing to Area 14, let's read from the module first, and then we see let's read from the companion first, because it has text for the players. The tunnel slants downward, pressing in on you. Your footfalls echo, spinning a bumpy yarn, and below that you hear something far more unsettling. A heartbeat. A slow, methodical heartbeat that seems to pulsate through the stone beneath your feet. Sick with curiosity and dread, you come to a sunken chamber. An orb of sizzling acid floats in the domed ceiling, suspended by unseen magic. Below stands a four-armed piscine creature, and in its hands is a box, an ornate box from which that foul heartbeat can be heard. So this is all the way from as they make their way down into Area 14A. 14B, I mean. Okay, let's read from the main text. 14A. Sloping tunnel. This room is empty. The north tunnel gradually slopes down 20 feet to Area 14B. 14B, heart in a box. The room's dome ceiling is 15 feet high at the edges and 30 feet high in the middle. The dome is filled with sizzling acid that defies gravity as it floats 15 feet above the floor. An 8 foot tall statue of a four armed fish monster, a petrified Sahuagin baron with no trident, stands in the middle of the room, facing north. Its webbed hands clutch an ornate 1 foot square stone box with a lid and a keyhole. This is what our, he's in the, yeah, let's see what a Sahuagin baron looks like. Uh, Quite big with four arms. The north end of the east wall is a secret door. Here. The acid floating in the domed area overhead is held there by magic. Opening the stone box without using the proper key causes the acid to fall. When the acid falls, each creature in the room takes 11 acid damage. Any creature that starts its turn in the acid takes the same damage again. The acid floods the room to a depth of 5 feet and flows 40 feet out into the hall, leading back to Area 14A before slowly draining out through tiny holes in the floor, losing 1 foot of depth per minute. The box can be unlocked and opened while the statue holds it. Prying it from the statue's grasp requires a successful DC 20 strength check and causes the petrified Sahuagin Baron to revert to flesh, attacking with its teeth and claws. The box's key is hidden in Area 6C. The box can also be opened with a knock spell or unlocked with Thieves' Tools and a successful DC 15 Dexterity check. Opening the box without the proper key, however, causes the acid overhead to plunge. The box's interior is lined with thin sheets of lead to thwart certain forms of divination magic, including the Detect Magic spell. Inside the box is the withered heart of a tiefling wizard. See Area 24B. A Detect Magic spell reveals an aura of necromancy magic around the heart, while an Identify spell or similar magic reveals its magical properties. Now, the version in the module is extremely brutal and not advised. It's much better to just follow the little box of horrors from the description. Let me read that to you instead. You can throw your adventurers a bone by making the heart the equivalent of a magic 8 ball. If a creature attunes to the heart, instead of dying a rather anticlimactic end to a character, you can instead allow them to ask questions to the heart, and they sense the answers in their heart. The heart has a sliver of its owner's personality, that of a lazy, corner cutting student prone to acting first and thinking later, and unable to consider the consequences of its actions. It lacks the awareness to know that what fate befell it, but a dim part glowers with hatred for Alistair Blackcloak and wishes to see the Mad Mage's work undone. Whenever an attuned creature asks the heart a question, no action required, roll a d12 and consult with the Magic Hate Ball table, which has a lot of fun things on it. It's on page 29 of the companion. Fun things like, yeah, go for it. Do it, you coward. You know in my heart that it's wrong, and such other funny and entertaining things. Okay, let's go to area 15. It's down here. It's the armory. Cobwebs enshroud rows of old weapon racks, many of which have collapsed under their own weight. A door in the south wall has a hand axe embedded in it. Although its presence might be mistaken for a warning, the hand axe is ordinary and signifies nothing. It can easily be pulled free from the door. South room. Behind the door with the hand axe is a 10-foot square room with a 1 foot thick, 5 foot diameter stone sharpening wheel set into the floor. Pressing down on a stone pedal previously turned the wheel, but the mechanisms under the floor have seized up with age, and the wheel no longer turns. Area 16. The Manticore Den. 3 Manticores dwell here. They immediately attack anyone who isn't Alistair or his food troll. Okay, now the companion makes this a much more interesting encounter by having you actually by having the players talk to him. So let's go to the companion directly. Rather than immediately attack the adventurers, you can have the three manticores here play with their food. The adventurers may be surprised to learn that these beasts can speak and might chafe under their haughty demeanors. Read the following. The chamber reeks with rot and waste. Its ceiling vaults out above you, held up by crumbling pillars. As you enter, a sinuous voice floats out from the dark. Ah, the newest guests. Welcome. Welcome to the show. Your eyes strain to find the source of the voice. It rings off every stone of this foul place, and out from the dark stalks a beast with the face of a man, the body of a lion, and the wings of a drake. Its its spiked tail scrapes against a nearby pillar. Yours is a special episode, says the beast, flashing a smile far too human for your liking. A special episode indeed. The Mad Mage expects great ratings. The primary manticore is merely entertaining itself while its two companions move into position. Both are hidden. Contest their dexterity stealth checks with the adventurer's passive perception. One is clinging to a pillar, ready to rain tail spikes upon their prey, while the other is prepared to land behind the enemy ranks to attack weaker combatants. If a combatant looks physically weak, the manticore attempts to grapple it and flies up to the 80-foot ceiling. If the adventurers show a willingness to talk, the other two hold off until afterwards. It's rare that they have guests that listen to their prattling. To them, conversation is music, at least until they grow weary of the company. The manticores admire the mad mage, who keeps them fed and entertained. They know nothing of his plans, but are aware of his penchant for calling Undermountain a show and imitate his terminology. Alistair's game, Sick Trivia. Under this variant, the primary manticore launches into a game of trivia, asking macabre questions to the adventurers. These questions are described in the Sick Trivia table above. That's also on page 29 of the companion, fellow DMs. Some Sick Trivia are ancient is this realm on the bones of which civilization is the Mad Mage's dungeon built? And then that's the Malarkan dwarves, I believe. So they have all these interesting questions in the companion. Let's go back. Answers range from subjective to concrete, described below. The answer can be determined by succeeding on a particular ability check. The primary manticore promises safe passage if the adventurers correctly answer 6 questions before failing 3, but this is a lie. While the primary manticore is distracting the adventurers, its brethren do their best to remain hidden, making dexterity stealth checks. The manticores are learned enough to know the answers to their own questions, having repeated this game so many times with other adventuring parties. They've also petitioned the Mad Mage for secrets and lore, so as to hone their trivia questions. A character that succeeds on a DC 15 intelligence history check can recall that Waterdeep is built upon the bones of a dwarven realm, the Underhalls of Mellerbode, which itself was built upon the ancient elven kingdom of Ilefarn. This capital was named Elinthaldar. 2. A character that succeeds a DC 14 Wisdom Medicine check knows that there are 6 liters of blood in the average dwarf's body. Shorter than humans they are, sure, but stouter too. Okay, question number 3 was which mortal race makes for the gamiest meat? This question is subject to the whims of the Manticore. A character that succeeds on a DC 14 Wisdom Perception check notices that the Manticore's eyes linger on one character for a split second when it asks. This question hinting that they're the answer. When it asks this question, hinting that they're the answer. Number 4 question is this one's a riddle for you. Always hungry am I, always I must be fed. The finger I lick will soon turn red. What am I? Number 4, a character that succeeds on a DC 16 intelligence investigation check can determine that the answer is fire. An answer of manticore or you elicits a hearty, unsettling chuckling from the monster. Question number 5 is what fungus comes alive and shrieks when it senses other creatures nearby? A character that succeeds on a DC 16 intelligence nature check recalls that shriekers are semi sentient fungi that emit piercing screams when threatened. Number 6. The dwarves chipped away at their precious mithril until the drow came with sword and fire. Now down went their temples and up went the new. Which deity do these elves worship? A character that succeeds on a DC 13 intelligence religion can recall that the drow worship Loth, the spider demoness. Number 7. Uh, who amongst you has the juiciest thigh? A character that succeeds on a DC 16 Wisdom Insight check can study the Manticore's eyes and salvation and intuit which of the adventurers it believes would make the best meal. Number 8. Which of you would scream quickest for mercy as your entrails were knitted into a scarf? This question has no correct answer. If the adventurers have made it this far, the Manticore loses its patience and initiates its inevitable betrayal. Some treasure in this room. Ooh, also makeshift beds. Okay, so from the module, 3 large piles of soiled, torn tapestries and curtains intermixed with humanoid bones and broken bits of stone serve as beds for the manticores. There's also a scrying eye. If the characters leave after killing the manticores and later return, they find one of Hallister's scrying eyes floating in the middle of the chamber. It studies the characters for a minute or two before disappearing without a sound. A search of the manticore's nests yields the following: a chain shirt, a flail, a wooden flute, 2 gold pieces, a pouch containing 14 silver pieces and 29 copper pieces, a pouch containing 21 gold pieces, and a silver necklace with a bloodstone pendant worth 250 gold pieces. Okay, now let's go to area 17, 17A and B down here. Let me zoom out just a little. All right. A wide foyer leads to a desecrated temple that feels more like a tomb. The ceiling is, sorry, foyer, 17A. The desiccated corpse of an unusually large basilisk lies in the middle of the floor on its back, its shriveled tongue hanging out and all 6 feet sticking up in the air. Clutched in one of its clawed feet is a transparent orb. The basilisk was killed by previous adventurers and left here. Anyone who inspects the corpse discovers that the basilisk died from wounds consistent with weapon attacks and destructive spells. 2 giant centipedes reside in the corpse. If the basilisk is disturbed, the centipedes emerge and attack the nearest creature. The basilisk clutches a drift globe. The creature's claw must be pried open to release the globe. 17b. Desecrated Temple. The ceiling is 60 feet high. 11 lifelike statues in a variety of poses are clustered together in the south end of the room. These statues are petrified creatures. Alcoves along the walls once held 6 statues, but 5 of them lie toppled and smashed to pieces on the floor. The 6th statue, located in the middle alcove along the east wall, remains intact and appears to be made of glistening black stone. The sheen is due to a black pudding that coats the statue. Lovely. That's what that looks like. The black pudding has 120 hit points and is held in stasis by Hallister's magic. The stasis ends and the pudding attacks if it is touched or harmed. The statue's stone features are impossible to discern while the black pudding covers it. Once the pudding sloughs off, characters who succeed on a DC 15 intelligence religion check realize that the statue depicts Gond, the god of invention. A character who worships Gond automatically succeeds on the check. The 5 toppled statues once depicted other gods, but now they lie smashed beyond recognition. The assembly of petrified creatures includes 5 unfortunate adventurers: a male human, a male half orc, a female elf, and 2 male halflings, and 6 unlucky monsters: 2 kobolds, 3 goblins, and a carrion crawler. A copper crown with 6 arrowhead shaped malachite spires, 75 gold pieces, hangs from one of the carrion crawler's stony tentacles. Area 18, Troll's Den. A filthy 30-foot square room lies at the end of a long hall, and a putrid stench fills both the room and the hallway. A voracious troll hunkers in the room's southwest corner and attacks interlopers on sight. It can't be surprised by adventurers who are noisy or approach with uncovered light sources. Alistair charmed the troll so that once a day it is compelled to fetch food from Area 19A and deliver it to the Manticores in Area 16. The successful Dispel magic cast on the troll ends the charm condition on it, but has no effect on its vile disposition. The troll pursues any fleeing prey. Ye Old Feast Halls, Area 19. 19A and 19B. And there's area 18A, 19A, B, and C are here, and area 20 is over here. Okay, 19A. First, overall, these rooms have the following features in common. Furnishings: two 20-foot long, 5-foot wide stone tables stand in the middle of each room, flanked by stone benches. Iron rods designed to hold tapestries are bolted to the walls near the ceiling. The tapestries have long since turned to dust, leaving the rods bare. 19A. Servants' Hall, Feast Hall. This room reeks. A detect magic spell reveals auras of conjuration magic around the tables. Every day at dawn, piles of rotting meat materialize atop the tables, courtesy of Alistair. Sometime between dawn and dusk, the troll in Area 18 visits the room, spends an hour devouring half of the meat, and dutifully delivers what's left to the Manticores in Area 16. 19B. Guards' Feast Hall. Under one of the tables in this room is a copper tankard with a hinged lid worth 25 gold pieces. 19C. Noble's Feast Hall. The door to this room doesn't open easily. Inside, propped against the door, is the maggot-eaten corpse of a female dwarf adventurer wearing tattered leather armor and a matching leather skullcap. In one skeletal hand, she clutches a dagger, in the other an empty tin flagon. On a bench in the room is her burglar's pack, complete except for the lantern and the flasks of oil. Area 20. Beyond the green door, set into the wall of a dead-end tunnel, is a door made of green wood. Mounted on the front of the door is a cast-iron carving of a smiling bearded face. Although vaguely sinister in appearance, the ornament is as harmless as the door. Although vaguely sinister in appearance, the ornament is harmless, as is the door. Behind the door is an empty 10-foot square room, or if you choose to expand the dungeon beyond this room, a passage that leads to another section of level 1. Do not expand the dungeon beyond this room. Do not expand the dungeon at all. There is some expanding to be done on level 2, but it's minimal. Do not add new levels. You will never finish playing this campaign. Do not add extra maps. Just enhance the ones that already exist. Okay, great stuff.
We hope you've enjoyed this video and found it useful. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe to keep up with our new videos to level up your campaign. Special thanks to Wyatt Troll for writing his amazing companion, available at dmsguild.com, which this video is based on. We strongly recommend getting the complete edition. We couldn't imagine running any of the campaign without it.